Welcome, light dwellers. Thank you so much for joining us today for another edition of Spiritual Sundays. We are talking spiritual narcissist, aura cleansing, and modern femininity. So this is going to be a juicy one you want to bite into. I have myself here, Lejeune, I'm the hostess. I have Leanne, and of course I have Sydney here. And Lee is actually going to be leading us in an opening prayer.
Okay. Everybody take a moment to ground yourself. Take a couple of deep breaths. I would like to thank the Divine Creator for blessing us with our gifts, making us healers, allowing us to know our full potentials, our abilities. I'm thankful for the fact that we are able to create a community, that I have Lejeune and Sydney in my life. I am grateful and honored that we're able to communicate through our spirit guides and our ancestors. I am grateful that there is magic in the world and that we're able to see it and enjoy it and understand it. And I would like to pray that you give us the guidance and the wisdom that we need to pass the message along to those that need to hear it. Maybe we're able to answer questions that somebody's afraid or shy to ask, and bless them with the courage. And I'm grateful that we don't have to hide in the darkness anymore, and that we can practice in the open, and that we've been blessed to heal and teach. I pray that you guide our words, and that you will give those that are listening the courage to ask the questions so that we can teach them. Mote it be.
Mote it be. Thank you, Lee.
That was really lovely.
Yeah,
Thank
I feel
you.
like I got to see your heart. That is very pretty.
I feel a little off, but
That's okay.
No, that was good.
Yeah,
Thank
There's
you.
a lot of energy going on.
Thank you.
Yes. Kisses. I love it. And I gotta ask Sydney, I would love for you to just tell us about this crystal grid that you have here, and like kind of digest it for all of our lovely viewers. Because like I'm curious about it too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just felt like I personally have just passed like probably 24, 48 hours just dealing with a lot of anxiety. And it took a lot of like meditation and prayer on my own part and just diving into my spiritual practice to kind of like wrestle it.
For sure.
And crystals help with grounding and with that energy, and just, you know, being in this space with this podcast, I just really wanted to remain grounded. Clear, just be able to speak truth without dealing with any extra anxiety, because being on camera, being recorded, I can add that. So it's just kind of like that little help. So I've got some apatite here, some obsidian, selenite, clear quartz, some raw rose quartz. I have my little tiny pocket Ganapati, or Ganesh, who's a Hindu deity for those who may not know. And then I've got my Venus carved out of tiger's eye for some goddess energy. And yeah, I really just sometimes will go up. I have a whole collection of crystals on my shelves, so I'll just be like, who needs to come with me?
For sure.
And then whoever calls out, that's who I stick in my bra. And, and so that's how these guys all ended up here.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing some of your practice
Yeah,
with us.
thanks.
Absolutely.
Very needed today because you know the traffic.
And we all had to beat traffic getting here.
Our journey was not easy today.
It was quite the journey. It was quite the journey today. Yes. And we're going to go ahead and dive into spiritual narcissist. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, thank you guys for being open to talking about this
Yeah,
topic.
requested.
Yeah, it's just recently come up for me, and just, personally, I am, an ACON, adult child of narcissistic parents. So a lot of my healing journey has been around narcissism and stuff like that.
For sure.
And so I just kind of thought, I'm like, hey, as far as, how I practice as a healer, I always say, like, you can only take someone else's healing journey as far as you've taken your own. So if it's coming up in your life, you might want to talk about it, because there might be other people who resonate with where you're at. So I just thought about bringing up spiritual narcissism, and just made a little list of, like, red flags, things to look out for when you're like 8.
For sure, yeah.
And thought maybe we could talk about it. I'm sure we've all had experiences with some spiritual narcissists.
Of course.
I've just been married to narcissists.
And that too, right?
Yeah, but narcissist, and then spiritual narcissist, because that's actually the first time I ever heard spiritual narcissist versus just like they are a narcissist.
Yeah, no, and I kind of feel like, I think narcissism in itself can be pretty insidious and harmful, but spiritual narcissism is like a whole other level, because people kind of give spiritualist healers a little bit more trust, and just are automatically more vulnerable, because generally you're going to run into a spiritual person when you're on a healing journey kind of thing. So you're just like that much more open. And so if a narcissist wants to take a spiritual approach to how they do things, they can really manipulate people who are in those kind of vulnerable states. So one of the first red flags that I put was spiritual bypassing, which by definition is using one's spirituality to avoid facing unresolved issues, either on a personal, interpersonal, or systemic level. And so I think, like, one way that'll really, like, an example of that is being like, oh, well, we're all one, so racism isn't an issue. That's like spiritual bypassing an issue.
I see.
Or like with an interpersonal conflict, like something that you said upset me. Well, it's on you that you reacted that way to what I said, and not wanting to take responsibility for the fact that you harmed the space that within this relationship. So that's one red flag that I wrote down. The other one was like, who do they surround themselves with? Are they surrounding themselves with someone that they have a leg up on, either financially, educationally, spiritually? Is there lacking in diversity of who it is that they're surrounded by? Or is it just the same kind of specific person that is easy for them to manipulate because they're maybe higher up on a spiritual journey?
Yeah, and I think I've seen a lot of spiritual narcissists as people who have a messiah attitude. So if you meet someone and they are just like above it all, just all the time, just they are on such a high plane of existence that this realm of existence, this 3D world, this reality that we're living in, does not touch them, and therefore they are not impacted or influenced by the laws and social constructs and regulations that make the world go around. Just don't. Anyone that calls themselves like a Maitira or the incarnate of like a higher being, no. Because there's aspectation, but there is not possession on that level. There's just not, because there would be no need to. There would be absolutely no need for like the one most high, like whatever you want to call it, to want to do that and be a person, and then be a person who manipulates, be a person who takes advantage. And it's actually very sad, because it's very sad, because I'm an anthropology student, and we were learning about like cults and what a cult really is. So like nowadays cult has a very like negative connotation because of all the cults that have, they've gone out, they've killed people. It was men and like an older white guy influencing young women, taking them on as his spiritual life, and just doing what he pleases, and enforcing his own rules and powers on, the rest of the world, and causing real violence and real harm, which like it has come to that, and that's how we know it. But the term cult is kind of like a small offset of a religion. but it can't even be viewed like that anymore because of spiritual narcissism.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's a really good point. Anyone who's like, I'm a reincarnation of this deity, huh?
Yeah.
That's a red flag. Plus, too, I mean, even I think if a deity like that were to incarnate, they would have to have a human experience.
Yeah, so they wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah, there's aspectation, which is very valid in ritual forms, and there's a lot of cultural and religious groups who do this, and they will have a high priestess typically aspect as a deity. This is how they oracle. That's their form of divination, to relay information for others, but it's very temporary and it's very much for the group and to spread knowledge and love that comes straight from the divine. Yeah, but it's not a permanent thing at all in any source of the word. Yes.
Yeah. So my next red flag kind of ties into the same thing. I said lacking in humility. Can they be taught?
Yeah.
If they're constantly oh no, because I've already experienced this. I've already done this work, so you can't tell me. I think humility is a strength and it's sacred, and I think you gotta constantly be humble on this journey.
You should be humble. Being humbled is very close to being grounded, and
exactly.
I think there's an opposite side of the coin too. There's are they willing to accept help, but also do they think that everything that they do is a service to others? They don't understand, what this person is actually going to. They don't reflect and take a moment. Oh, is this going to be receptive, especially coming from me? Having those humble parts of yourself and being able to stay grounded is there's a clear distinction between someone who, is going through something or someone who is perpetually that way.
Yeah,
for sure.
Is your cup so full already that it can't? You still got a lot of life left to live. If you're not still growing and evolving, you're dying.
Yeah. Anyone that just is so complacent to be stagnant and just be here, which they think is the highest place, and they place themselves on a pedestal, and it feels like they can only look down at you as they're talking. Fuck no. Yeah.
No, thank you.
No. Send them to the door.
For sure. Next one is need for control. I think we all, for anyone who may not know, narcissism is, a symptom of deep insecurity, born of probably really disgusting, awful trauma. But it manifests in I need to control everything so that I'm not really seen. I cannot let my mask slip at all, so I have to control everything.
Be the puppet master.
The puppet master of all the things. Can't let it, they'll have maybe one person that they have as their right hand man kind of thing that they let maybe see behind the curtain. But even then, that's somebody that they have the ability to manipulate and control so much. Probably the most abused person by them.
Yeah, and it's just a cycle of continuous abuse.
Very cliquish.
Yeah, that's
For
why
sure.
it just instantly reminded me of cults. I'm yeah.
It also reminds me of a
culty.
group that you were a part of.
Oh yeah, you would you would ask me. You would ask me about this and put me on the spot.
It's an experience.
It is an experience. Yeah. That's exposed. Okay. Let's not name names. Because this happened in the, you definitely know who you are. I was working with a group of women. I was the diversity hire. And I helped, they were kind of on the ground floor of what they were doing. And they had a lot of cultural appropriation going on and their terminology and their practices. And I would I'd call them out on it, and they would fix things, they would change things. So after we did a first event, kind of a first launch to see how the community feels, and we had planned retreats afterwards. And these retreats, you plan a retreat, you're booked for that retreat. I have marked that retreat off on my calendar. That's 3 days, and that's prime weekend. I'm taking my time to do this, and I've invested in the workshops and the classes that I was going to teach for this retreat as planned. And a month after the first event, I got an email I got an email that said basically I did not fit the group. I did not fit the perception of the group anymore. However, she did give me a coupon code to go to the retreat myself for $10 off a $500 retreat. The caucasity, the actual audacity. And yeah, it was very sad. It was sad.
And then they
But
also
it needed
portray
to happen.
themselves as healers. And as a healer, I don't think you should be all inclusive. Like, you're inclusive. Like, this is my little community. You're supposed to brand, and you don't tell somebody, oh, you need help. But I'm not the one. I'm not helping you because I'm too busy.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. They're so booked and busy that they can take clients. They can take you for, they can take your money. But they don't actually want to help you. They don't want to help you establish those long time routines that are going to actually help you in the long run. They want to give you like a little Band-Aid and a slap on the ass and say, okay, you're good to go for now.
And narcissistic in that, like, oh, you need help, so let me plant that seed of anxiety, but not actually give you tools so that you're, then chomping at the bit for every little scrap I'm gonna give you.
It's a cycle.
It fully, yeah. And I mean, I also just want to acknowledge, as a woman of color who's done that diversity work, being in a situation where you constantly have to call out, cultural appropriation, and hey, this is harmful, hey, this is tough, and get pushback. That's taxing and soul sucking.
It is taxing. It does hurt, dude.
I acknowledge that. I see you, girl. Damn.
It is hurt, though. I feel like it's something, I don't want to say I'm used to it, but I'm kind of used to it. I'm kind of used to it, coming into these spaces, especially the holistic world, especially when you want to come into a place where, you found your purpose, you found your path, and I think, we deserve a sustainable lifestyle.
Yeah. We
should be able to live and provide good healing services. And trying to get into those spaces, it's not very colorful.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very colorful in any of the ways.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's very tough out here. It's tough.
That's because they're in it for profit. I'm sorry.
They are. It's the highest form of cultural appropriation, dude. Because they're literally continuously profiting off of it. Yeah, they make money to this day in their pockets.
Don't even get me started on the yoga community.
Oh man, dude, don't get me started.
Talk about cultural appropriation,
that is ultimate cultural appropriation, and it's also just it's very hollow. Being in a yoga class is it's like being in any other workout class. Yeah. And I hate that.
Exactly.
I hate that.
No, asana is not a workout. It is to prepare the body for a spiritual journey.
It's an inward exploration.
Yes, it is one branch of a huge, gorgeous, beautiful tree.
Oh.
And you're just taking this one branch and trying to profit off of it, and it's ancient and it's sacred and it comes from
but
brown
they're
people.
Ooh, hot yoga.
Yeah, it's hot yoga. It's power yoga. It's yoga,
and I'm
different.
I'm y'all just renaming stuff? What is going on here? It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really, and it's stupid expensive. It's stupid expensive, dude.
Yeah.
What, $90 to $100 a month?
A month.
For 5 classes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
Going way up there if you're trying to go there multiple times a week. Don't support, if you feel like you're, going to a company, going to someone, getting healing service, and you feel uncomfortable, or you feel like, you question it, that is your intuition talking,
Mm-hmm.
don't get healing from them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. You'll regret it, because when you want to get healing from someone, you open yourself up, you're very vulnerable with them, and you allow them to see the deepest parts of yourself, your spirit, your soul, and they can manipulate you.
Mm-hmm.
They will manipulate you. They'll plant seeds in your head, and just leave all these little tokens that they can grab and leech onto later. So,
if it's a can't quite put my finger on it feeling.
Swipe left.
To the left.
Absolutely. And on that note, if you are kind of looking to get healing done, how do you know when you should get your aura cleansed? I think feeling stagnant or feeling pockets of stagnant energy, you feel kind of just stuck, or you feel like you're kind of running in place, just doing the workings of your everyday life and not really living, just doing shit. That is a clear indication that you probably need a cleansing. just like a cleansing, a purification. And that's if you're not having physical manifestations yet, because you can definitely get sick. Just a lot of body aches, constant headaches, constant migraines. You have like a perpetual sore throat. Yeah, those are also signs. What are some signs for you guys?
Dark cloud. Like, I just feel
Yeah.
heavy and like everything.
For sure.
I don't. It's not that everything bad, because it's not my slut rock where everything's bad.
I know. In my mind, I was like, she's gonna say
no.
slut rock.
I am because I like slut rock. But no. It's just a heavy feeling. It's like a dirty feeling. I mean,
It is kind of
I
dirty.
just know.
Yeah.
I just know I'm dirty and I need to go and cleanse.
Yeah.
Because it's like all the negativity. It's a lot. It's just like a crap load of negativity that just hits you in the face. And it's not like,
Yeah.
oh, just slowly, I'm just gonna
No, 'cause it,
pet
like,
you. It's like, I'm
smacks
gonna
you.
smack the crap out
I'm
of
gonna
you.
smack you dead in your face.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because like regardless of what you're doing, you're constantly manifesting. You are a magnet of energy. You are attractive. Your energy is attractive. So whatever energy you have is what you're going to attract. So if you're like just attracting a bunch of just negative shit, maybe look inward on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give a cleansing. Yeah, I think like in my clients, one of the signs that I'll see is like just like consistent chronic illness. Like, do you constantly get strep throat? Do you constantly get earaches? Like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe there's like
Like you shouldn't be in
something to look at.
pain
Yeah.
living your everyday life. Yeah.
Mhm.
For no reason.
For no reason.
Just absolutely no reason.
Just out of the blue.
I'm just sick
Yeah.
for no reason. I haven't been around anybody. I haven't been
Right.
out in the cold.
Yeah.
I'm just sick.
Use logic.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, yeah. It's flu season, and you like went on the train, didn't wash your hands, and made food. That could have been you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just something random.
Well,
Yeah,
like in the
exactly.
pandemic, apparently that's a lot of people. Wash your hands, guys.
Yeah, they taught us how to wash our hands.
They really did.
20
They really
seconds.
did. They said, "Sing
Get
happy
up there."
birthday.
Better say something.
And just for those who don't, your aura is your energy, and
Yeah.
energy, and it's a vibe. It's they're the same. It's your energy
Yeah,
field.
it's like your spirit. Like the spirit, how I like to think about it, it is the concentration of my energy that animates me in my life. You know, animates what I do, my actions, what I put into the world. And I am that spirit, and this spirit that I have extends further than my physical body.
Mhm.
For sure.
And people are attracted to your aura, your energy, your vibe.
Yeah.
So if you're a positive person, people naturally want to gravitate to you.
Yeah.
And then if you're a negative person, you want to gravitate to the positive person so you can bring them down.
Or y'all like gravitate to other negative people so y'all can have a complaining party.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's better than coming to the positive side, honestly. Yeah.
But it's also, there goes your narcissism.
True that.
So that's another indicator to a spiritual narcissist. You feel negative, don't go.
Yeah, like if you're feeling like you're in a bad space,
Yeah.
it's unfair of you to infect everybody else. You know, it's unfair of you to infect the vibe. You know, because you know how you're feeling. Just stay at home, dude. I don't think any reasonable person knows we all have our off days. So no one should like hate you for taking a personal day.
Like, I'm in it. Sorry, can't come to the movies.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
be good to be around.
I'm gonna miss dinner. Trust. Like I'm bored. Like I'm not gonna be a good time, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not.
we're all very good about that. I'm just like,
Yeah, I'm just like, nah, dude.
Not
I
feeling
can't-
it. Sorry.
Again, and that's humility.
love
right
you.
there.
I'll catch
Like,
you next time.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like, know
exactly.
thyself. Like,
Literally. But in their head, they're like, no, I'm so good at it all that I'm not even really affected right now, and I'm just gonna go
I'm
anyways.
just gonna go anyways and be a dark cloud that brings everybody down.
Or they think they can pretend, which
Mhm.
is sad, because you feel like you can't take those off days, that you can't take that personal time. Yeah.
So one of my favorite ways of cleansing my aura is ritual baths. I love ritual baths.
Oh yeah, I love ritual baths. I love a daily rebirth. So I love taking visual showers every single day. Like every single day. Just I'm like, why not refresh? Not
just-
come rain on
I love
me.
a shower.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
I mean, just
that's
going
right,
out
I
in the
love a
actual
shower.
rain is supposed to help.
Water is very cleansing.
Yes.
That's free flowing energy. So please take what I do not need.
Yeah. Water,
then
which
there's-
I'm always like, and I tell clients that a lot too. I'm like, water is receptive. Like I look at water as just like it's a manifestation of divine energy physically here on earth. Like
It's a vessel.
Like look at her like that, work with her like that. Like you can go and turn on the shower and be like, hey girl, I'm in it, I need some cleansing please. Just like set that intention before you even go into the shower. It can be that easy.
And honestly, you set that intention, and it is very like a meditative practice while you're in there, because you are physically washing yourself. You might as well wash off that dirty ass energy too. Like it's a 2-for-1. Yeah, please, like no, for real, do it. And then I've gotten to the point, I do it every single day. It just kind of feels good and refreshing. It just feels like I'm washing my face, washing washing the spirit that does not, the energy I don't need anymore, even if it's just mine. Even if it's just mine, some that I was holding on to from the other day from 10 minutes before I took my shower, I would like to go ahead and just cleanse that off. I don't need that anymore. Thank you. Goodbye. For sure.
I was in it. I can let it go now.
Yeah, for sure. Just let it go. Yeah, absolutely.
And then another way would be smudging with the little.
Yeah, I love smudging, smoke cleansing. I love making ritual blends. I do. And I love amber resin. Amber resin is a good one because it cleanses, purifies, and consecrates. So it helps you bring that good, balanced, delicious, sacred energy. And it smells good. It smells so good.
It does. And then I don't know if you're aware of this, but you did aura combing just a minute ago when you're like this.
Oh, I do it all the time.
Yes.
I do it all the time.
Yes.
I do it all the
So
time.
if you don't have if you don't have water or sage or something, just wash your hands and then do a aura combing. Just pull all it and then do a crap and just kind of toss it away.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Get it out of here.
Prayer too, I think just saying the intention out loud. I have in visualization too, kind of like one thing that I always like to do when I'm feeling, if I'm in it and can't get to a shower, can't get to my stuff, I'm out and about. I always say I call all of my power back, I call all of my energy back. I release from my aura what is not mine, I release what does not serve my highest and best good. And then I do a visualization of for me, I'm a very visual person, so I visualize, see the aura extending 6 feet out in every direction from the person. So I see it sealed in, it's kind of like a white light, glowy light.
Yeah.
And then I like to vision a padlock, and I visualize and hear the click.
I like how you do the padlock.
Nope, it's sealed, and then I'll say my aura is sealed.
Yeah, this is why I pray to bigger energies than me, because I'll go ahead, can I have the warriors? I'm sorry. Yeah. I was like, y'all are not going to just come into this place. I don't like that at all. And we were talking about ways we like to cleanse. I love all of those ways that you guys were talking about for sure. Love warding, smoke cleansing. And there's a lot of extra little things that I like to do. I do my own nails. I put into the monomer a ritual blend.
That's dope.
Yeah. So I could just stay protected.
Ritual blend, you sell your ritual blends.
I do sell my ritual blends. I sell them. I don't know why it's taking me so long, but don't check my website. I sell them in person though. I sell them in person.
Just email her.
If you ask me, I will get it to you. I'll probably go drive it to you. Don't tell everybody.
So I feel privileged. I get a lot of ritual blends because I need a lot of help.
I love ritual blends. Then they're just so fun to make.
I use them a lot. I use them in my baths. I use them
because they're for everything. Like a ritual blend you can put into your bath. Some, as long as they don't have resin in it and they're actual drinkables, you can make them into tea, put them in your bath. You can put them in your hair oil and your anointing oils and your body lotions and your creams. Use them on your altar. Bless things with them. It's endless. It's only as limited as your imagination, which is unlimited. So
obviously, because you stick them in your nails.
Oh, for sure. If you stay ready, you do not have to get ready.
No, it's just making ritual a part of everyday life. That's how I am with Florida water. I put it in all my cleaning products.
For sure.
So as I'm cleaning my house, I'm cleansing it of icky energy.
Yes, absolutely.
My baths, my a little drop in some hair products because it's got alcohol will dry your shit out.
That's why I like flower essences in the hair.
Yeah, for sure.
They're good for you.
So it's funny that y'all are saying nails. So this is the symbol for protection.
Yeah.
So I've decided I'm gonna start at least on my fingers.
funny.
That way they're always there.
Yeah.
I'm always protected.
Yeah.
Other than the 50,000 bracelets I wear, but
Oh, I got my
Yes.
sigils tattooed on me too.
I know. I think
Yes.
that's actually what inspired me. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go get them tattooed on. I have enough tattoos. I'm just not. And so,
But on your nails.
my nails, because
Yeah.
that's something that is always done.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
And I
That's
think
why I'm
too,
like,
it
it's
is
always
healers because we're always working with our hands.
Always.
Like doing it with your nails.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Thank you.
I like that.
Yeah.
For sure.
that you were the inspiration. So it's like, you know what? That's a cool idea, but I'm not getting tattooed.
No, I love that. I think that's like one of the first things I was asking you. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I think
see
you did
your
ask me
sigils
that.
on- Like, what do
Mhm.
those mean? Yeah.
Yeah. This one like keeps me protected whenever I'm doing my works.
Yeah,
Yes,
on our
everything
receiving
you
hand. Come on now.
Yeah.
Gotta be prepared.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's like those are the tools of your trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's just go ahead and dive into modern femininity. So I was watching this podcast, and there's a lot of podcasts out there about like modern femininity. What's a high value woman? What makes a high value woman? High value men, and like modern relationship dating. And I was watching Pearl, not of enjoyment. But yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit, because she's not a woman that's for women, you know? Like, she brings what she calls modern women onto her podcast. And sometimes they're just like, you know, they're Instagram models. They're kind of just doing their thing. They're in their 20s, just doing their thing. And she kind of just shits on them. Just shits on them, tell them what they're doing is wrong. And especially their, like, sexuality. Like, I hate that, there's not a lot of people who support women expressing their sexuality and, you know, having safe sex. They don't, that makes you a hoe, you know?
Give me a half conversation.
As somebody who loves sex magic and does solo sex magic regularly,
For sure.
like I hate that.
For real.
It's just-
Orgasm,
it's
I bet
gross.
you wouldn't
Yeah.
go that way.
No, for real. Like, orgasm in itself is magic. Having a bad day, orgasm. Can't sleep, orgasm. In a good mood, celebrate with an orgasm. And that would have an orgasm and alchemize that
And that is,
energy.
that is a great, that's a release. Do it
It
correctly, and that is a good release, dude.
Well, maybe that's what her problem is.
Yeah, I
So
don't
how
know.
do these women, when she bashes them, how do they react? I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
They're pissed.
I need to.
They're pissed. They're clapping back. And it's just, dude, she posts this consistently. I see you. You post consistently. She's out here doing the damn thing. She really is. And I just don't agree with her. So,
Oh, that's Pearl?
no.
Oh, I was
You
going
think
to
we'd
say.
have less unplanned pregnancies on the women's
This
side
is
that
Pearl.
take birth control? But they do take, well, a lot of women do take birth control. Okay. Well, all my friends do.
Look at her.
To their own detriment. I know, but then why do we have so many single parent homes? Well, yeah, but I think that's an inevitability. No, it's not. It's not an inevitability. When you have the choice to get an IUD and you have a 99%.
She's a dumbass. I don't even have, there's single parent homes because one, you can have a husband and a wife and then they decide to part ways for whatever fucking reason. So it has nothing to do with being single. And that now you're just,
She likes to blame women for the
She's a
problem of
dumbass.
the world.
she's a dumbass.
Wild. I mean,
Like, she's just crazy too.
like if we want to talk about birth control, like within a 9-month span, a woman can only have one baby, but within that 9 months, a man can impregnate
Unlimited women.
hundreds and thousands of women if
Yeah.
he's really putting in work.
Yeah,
I mean,
if
come
he's
on.
out all day, every
Next.
day. He can
Next.
impregnate
Next.
every single woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
maybe
like,
we're not
yeah.
the problem.
And I remember seeing this study, like there was, trying to come up with a male birth control, but the men quit because they were dealing with
hormonal
mood swings,
imbalance.
acne, weight gain, all that shit that we deal with.
That's
When
hilarious.
we take birth control, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, cool, you can't handle it, but we have to.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know
For
if
sure.
you guys have seen the new season of Working Moms. It's on Netflix.
I've not seen it.
It's Working Moms is just funny. It's funny, good comedy shit. And Kate Foster, she's like the main character. She's a PR manager. She owns her own PR firm, and she's actually dealing with a client that is pushing male birth control. And she put her husband on it, and he's just like, I'm just so bloated right now. Like, he's sitting on the couch eating like low-calorie frozen yogurt, just hating himself and watching trash reality TV. Just awful.
Yeah. I'm like, welcome
Find,
to our
you know,
world.
there's a lot of different contraception versions out there.
Mm-hmm.
Find your version.
Find the kind that works for you. But man, like that's the thing. Like we're dealing with all these health risks, mood swings,
Yeah.
stuff that can lead to suicidal ideation. I mean, come on.
There's a lot of very negative side effects.
A lot.
Especially with the pill, dude.
Mhm.
Ooh, even a copper IUD is like, it gives you worse cramps, makes your period longer, and just like hurts. It just hurts.
No, it's hardcore. And I feel like too, I mean, like I struggle with like birth controls that, you know, because if you're a human that has a uterus, bleeding every month is like your body's natural cycle. It's a purging, you know. And I think you know, even like the emotional stuff that comes with it, like this is just you're being brought up to stuff that you need to release this month. This is stuff that just needs to go. And like if it stops your body's natural cycle, we don't really understand the long-term effects of that. That's scary. So it's like there's a whole lot of stuff that comes with the birth control, but the unplanned pregnancies are the woman's fault, Pearl.
Ooh, I'm gonna go ahead
Or
and
single
say
parenting. It's single parenting. Everybody's, but it's not. There's a whole bunch of divorces in the world.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of single mothers out there because a lot of men don't want to take the responsibility. It's like, oh, now I'm gonna divorce you so I can go be a hoe. I'm just saying. I don't understand her logic.
I don't either.
She's a dumbass.
Yeah. I gotta move on to more.
I was gonna say, what else
silly
you got?
things now, yeah. I was like, okay, next.
I think feminism isn't actually about equality, it's about equality when it benefits us. I think feminism is really about women wanting special privileges and treatment at the expense of men often. And I think it's alive and well, sadly. I think feminism...
At the expense of men.
Do you even know what
At
feminism
the
is?
expense of men.
She's a man advocate.
I want to know where this chick lives. What kind of world does she? No, I want to know what reality she lives in. Men shit on women to this day.
She's been doing this for years.
They take advantage of us. They've been taking advantage of our knowledge, what we go and we grow, and then they take credit for. I'm confused.
They do.
Feminism is alive to their advantage.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is she? Is she supposed to be a dude? And she just looks like a woman? I'm just wondering.
I don't think so. I don't know.
'Cause
I don't know too much about Pearl.
'Cause her brain.
Except that she does
brain
a lot of podcasts. They're very popular. And she's kind
'Cause
of a
she's
part of that,
controversial.
like, yeah. It's that spark of all those podcasters who, like Andrew Tate and Sneeko, and all those people who go onto podcasts and tell men and women, young men and women, how they should be so that they can secure a good partner for themselves. And especially like a high value woman.
Talk about negative aura. This is negative aura.
Like just
this is somebody she's just
high value
she's-
woman, high value man.
listening
like,
to
that
her,
just
I
makes
feel
me
gross.
cringe.
I feel gross. I feel like
it is
I need
cringy,
to,
isn't it?
I need to go home
It's
and
about
shower
to get cringier.
just from listening.
Dude,
I need to go to a ritual
I know.
bath.
We need to do some more cleansing.
Yeah, be protected. Come on.
I can't. Oh my gosh.
We got the crystals.
That
here,
is
guys,
just
don't worry.
Come on.
gross.
As healers, we deal with negative energy.
But that is just-
we are the people made to deal with the negative energy. So that's
That's
why
an
you gotta stay
abundance.
protected. And yeah,
She
she just goes off of it
vomits.
with other people.
Nastiness.
Yeah, dude. Just
Nasty.
okay. So the spark of a talk of like a high value man and a high value woman, and this is kind of what the internet says a high value woman is. Okay.
I already know.
I didn't search hard for these. I did not. Okay.
She's prepping us. Need to be angry. Gotcha.
Okay. The quickest path to becoming a high value woman, feminist edition, posted by Xavier.
Okay.
1, don't get married. 2, avoid family creation. Kill the baby if you have to. 3, birth control pills. 4, lift heavy. 5, eliminate traditional gender roles. 6, career focus. 7, play to your strengths and sell nudes.
Huh.
Yeah. It's an interesting list.
I'm confused.
So I'm supposed to be the man and the woman and carry your weight and mine because you said lift heavy. That's what I got from that. I'm not supposed to have kids or anything because that takes away from me giving you the that's.
I think this is his
Is that like
attempt.
some sort of satire?
Yeah, I think this is his attempt on trying to have a hot take on a boss babe or someone that doesn't want to, her future does not entail, she's like, I am not focused on getting married and having kids.
You don't have to be
And how-
to be a boss babe. You don't. I mean, you could still have kids and be a boss babe.
Yeah, and that's their whole thing, is we are being selfish, we are being greedy if we want to have both.
But you're a boss babe if you can have both. If you
whole-
can manage both. I'm confused.
There's more.
The whole conversation just feels ass backwards because it's so rooted in heteronormative
Traditional
ideals.
gender, yeah.
And that's not was it Anne Hathaway put it really well in one of her speeches where she was the idea that homosexuality or queerness is this side small little planet that orbits around straightness.
Yeah.
That's this is a concept that we just need to let go of because queerness, the trans experience, all of that's been a part of the human experience since the beginning of humans.
For sure.
And we've been
this is not new.
This isn't new.
It's not
This isn't
new.
new at all. This one artist that young indigenous rapper that I love,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that she says in her lyrics is she's Black indigenous people of color, are not this trans conversation isn't new. We're practicing ancient indigenous ancestral it's in our DNA.
No, there's a lot of cultures where being a trans person is very much a high value thing because you have the experience of both masculinity and femininity.
Being
and
able to see the world from the masculine and feminine perspective
Yeah.
at once, that's amazing.
That's beautiful.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
and
That's sacred.
It is, and I've got to give my props to the trans community, to trans women, and especially to Sasha fucking Colby, because I love drag. I am obsessed with. I love drag.
She is.
I'm obsessed with it. And that is compliments to trans women 1000% of the way. And Sasha Colby just won Drag Race, and she's a trans woman. And I fucking love her. I love Sasha Colby, to death. To absolute death. She's an inspiration, and she just sheds light on trans happiness. Because there is a lot of you see a lot of documentation and recordings of just struggle and sadness, and I feel that happens a lot to people in minority communities.
Totally.
And she just shares the joy.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that because we can twist these perceptions of us and make them happy and make them positive experiences, because ultimately we want all of our lives to be a positive experience. And just because you are different from the norm doesn't mean you have to have a bad or sad life. So I love seeing examples of that.
Have we watched Pose?
Of course, dude.
What
a rhetorical
If you
question.
haven't watched Pose, watch Pose. It's just a work of art from top to bottom.
Oh, it's
And
beautiful.
I think it's just, I think for people who might have trouble making that connection, I think
Yeah.
it's just a really good, beautiful storytelling of how the trans experience is a part of the human experience. It's not new.
Yeah.
It just is,
Yeah.
and it needs to be accepted.
Yes, it should be accepted with love and open arms, how you should accept people, period. And if you are having difficulties with accepting a certain person, just because of the way they are, not because they've done anything to negatively impact you, but you just don't like their existence, you need some shadow work done, baby. That is deep inside work that you need to reflect on, and probably get somebody else to help you with that, for sure. Get a few people.
I also back spiritual narcissist because
Yeah.
they're.
Yeah, I like to.
You're supposed to,
wrap around.
yeah, exactly.
It's all connected.
Exactly. Anybody that claims to be a healer and refuses to heal you because of your your background, what you choose, your color, your skin, who
Yeah.
you date, that is not a healer. That is not a healer. So
Your healing should be intersectional. Anybody should feel safe in your
exactly.
They should, for
Unless
sure.
they're not, then yeah, shadow work. There's more work that you need to be doing. Period.
Period. Bold letters.
Yeah.
Final print. Oh my goodness, yeah. But I think there is like, you can be a person of high value and just, it's the way you value yourself. You can have self-worth, you can have confidence, but nobody else gets to determine that for you. You gotta, mark that out for yourself. What are some virtues that you admire? What are things that can help you become who you want to be? Because we're all growing. There's all, things that we want to achieve more of or would like more of, like considering what we would like to learn. If we want to, hone in on the skills we already have or maybe develop new skills, you get to choose all of those things. So be very conscious of those choices because they make who you are. Like for sure.
Because at the end of the day, this is what I tell people. At the end of the day, it does not matter what other people think. As long as you value yourself. I mean, because when you give somebody, when you care about what other people think, you give them the power.
Yeah.
You no longer have the power.
Yeah.
And if they're not paying your bills, they're not providing a roof over your head. I mean, they don't give you a job. They're not doing anything to
Right.
support you. They don't have the right or any say in your life. And so that's how you create value for yourself.
For sure.
No, one thing I like to coach my clients on is like, you have worth because you exist.
Yeah.
You are worthy of basic human decency and respect. The only way that you would be not deserving of that is if your thoughts, words, and actions were out here causing harm and being
Yeah.
intentionally malicious and disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, walk as though you're worthy because you exist. You don't have to like bow your head and earn it. No, like that.
No, you deserve respect.
Yeah.
At baseline, you deserve respect. You really deserve like love, abundance, and happiness and joy, like pure joy in your heart, just every single day. That's what you deserve.
Yeah, you deserve to thrive.
But you do.
But this world makes that hard. So at the very least, hold in your heart that you are worthy
of respect. Respect is like the ground level. Okay, that's all I'm taking. Can't get no lower than that.
Mhm.
Absolutely not. Awesome. So, do you guys have any final notes, final thoughts before I send us home?
Yeah, I like where we're leaving it. Just
Yeah.
know, like,
Yeah, I was like, that's a good final word.
you
Like,
are worthy of existence.
you are worthy of love, like prosperity, abundance, joy. You deserve all of that, like without a doubt. So,
But stay humble. Stay humble.
Look,
At the end of the day,
I can
you
wish them
be-
that, but that's up to spirit.
I understand. You still have to stay humble. And
Yeah.
you can want all these things in life. You can project it, put it out there,
You gotta be
manifest
humble,
it.
have
Gotta stay
gratitude.
humble. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If
You gotta
don't-
participate in the flow of abundance. You can't just be here and get
Right,
it. Like, that's not how that
exactly.
works.
No.
True that.
No.
No,
You can be
exactly.
catty-cornered and get it from somebody else if you want. Don't be an energy vampire. I don't recommend that. It's
It's gonna hurt you in the end.
It is. You're gonna have to pay for that.
Yep.
But I do want to end on a closing note, a closing little thought. This is a quote from Nina Simone, and it is, you have to learn to get up from the table when love is no longer being served. Get out of there.
Preach.
Yeah.
For
That was,
real.
yeah, I think that's just a beautiful quote. Will that resonate with you? Take what you want from it. Yeah, I love that quote. I think it's really nice. And it's like just straight to the point. Get up if love is not being served anymore. Bye. Absolutely. But tune in next week, guys. We have the ABCs of spirituality. We're talking spells versus rituals, healers versus witches, paganism, all different types of things.
What does
this,
that mean?
Yeah, what are these things? What makes a witch? What makes a spiritualist? All of it. Energy work, yes. So tune in next week for that. And from our hearts to yours, we hope that you enjoyed this episode. And please just leave us your thoughts or, funny things you want to say to us. That'd be cool. Thank you. Bye.